The fluorescent lights buzzed impatiently overhead. Dr. Simon Bell adjusted his spectacles, the faint hum vibrating through the laboratory bench and into his bones. It was a sound he knew well, the constant, reassuring drone of his life's work. Tonight, however, it felt different. Laced with an unsettling undercurrent that sent shivers down his spine. He paused, listening intently, but the feeling evaded him. Just nerves, he muttered to himself, turning back to the labyrinth of wires and blinking LEDs that constituted his latest experiment. Years he had dedicated to this, fueled by countless late nights and lukewarm coffee. Tonight he was on the precipice of something revolutionary, something that could rewrite the laws of physics as we knew them. He double-checked the calculations, his brow furrowed in concentration. Everything was in place. The air crackled with anticipation, thick with the smell of ozone and the promise of the unknown. He took a deep breath, his hand hovering over the activation switch. The hum intensified, resonating deep within him, a physical manifestation of his own mounting excitement. With a final nod of determination, he flipped the switch. The world dissolved into a blinding white light. Simon reeled back, instinctively shielding his eyes. A high-pitched whine, like 1,000 fingernails scraping down a blackboard, pierced through the laboratory, growing in intensity until it was almost unbearable. Then, as quickly as it began, it ceased. Silence descended, heavy and absolute. He cautiously lowered his arm, blinking away the afterimages that danced before his eyes. The laboratory was gone, replaced by a swirling vortex of colors he could not name. It pulsed and throbbed, a gaping maw in the fabric of reality itself. Terror, cold and sharp, gripped him. What had he done? He staggered back, stumbling over a stray cable. The ground seemed to shift beneath his feet, and for a moment he thought he might be sick. But curiosity, that insatiable hunger that had driven him his entire life, outweighed his fear. He had to see, had to know what lay beyond that shimmering veil. Taking a deep breath, he stepped towards the unknown. The air on the other side was cold, biting. Simon gasped, his breath misting in the air. Gone was the sterile, controlled environment of his laboratory. He found himself standing in a narrow, cobbled alleyway, the air thick with the stench of damp and decay. Above, the sky was a bruised purple, crisscrossed by a network of wires from which flickered an eerie, greenish light. The buildings were tall and imposing, their facades blackened with grime and time. They leaned towards each other as if conspiring to crush the life out of the narrow street below. A shiver ran down his spine. This place felt wrong, a twisted reflection of the world he knew. He took a tentative step forward, his shoes echoing on the uneven cobblestones. The air was filled with a low hum, the source of which he couldn't place. It resonated deep within him, a discordant symphony that set his teeth on edge. Where was he? What had his experiment unleashed?